Hello and welcome back to the third episode of this course. And in this video or episode, we will be discussing about the errors. So the errors in Python, as we will soon see, are extremely important to know. So firstly, I'll create a heading saying errors. So let me just go ahead and cut. You can even delete. That's fine. So firstly, I'll make a heading. So Jupyter no longer uses, okay, so you can read this. So instead of uh using this markdown, I could have directly done it. I can say errors. Let me run this, and here you go. Um this is the title. So there are three main errors which are very important, and if you aspire or you want to be a programmer, you have to master and see how to get rid of these errors. So it's very, very crucial that you know how to tackle these errors. The first error is the syntax error. We explored a bit about that in the previous episode in the second video, and the other new two will be name error and indentation error. Next, we will learn about uh, type error, but no, that's not for now. It's a little more advanced. So, firstly, what is a syntax error? What is syntax? Syntax is basically grammar rules. Like there is syntax of English, like you have to put a full stop at the end of a sentence, comma for a short break, colon for introducing uh, a list. There are there are a lot of syntax rules that have to be followed in Python as well. So, firstly, we will be exploring two ways to violate this rule, and we'll view. Okay, I'm messing up now, but yeah. Okay, so two examples of each of the errors, and yeah. So, firstly, the first error is called the syntax error, as I said. Hmm. Have you done symmetry? Symmetry is like one thing has to be repeated on the other side as well, like a butterfly. It looks very symmetrical. Same way. So we introduced the print function in the previous episode. So going to be extremely key here. So firstly, print. You all recognize this function. Then a bracket. Then I'm going to be using single quotes and hello. So do you think this will work? Yes, this will work because it's symmetrical. There is a bracket and a single quote, and a bracket and a single quote. Now, what happens if we don't keep this symmetrical anymore? It's going to produce a syntax error. So, here, this. I just removed the single quote, so let's see what happens. Syntax error. EOL while scanning string literal. So you don't need to worry about this part. This is like more complex, which you will soon know yourself. Syntax error. And this. You have to know about the line. This was the first line, so line 1. Print hello and it shows you that it's a syntax error. So we could just put a double quote or a single quote here and run it again, and voila, it works. Secondly, we can see print hello here. We just removed the bracket instead of the single quote this time, and another error. So it's extremely obvious how to fix it in just put a bracket and this will solve the problem. And yeah. Now we will move on to name errors. Name errors are just as easy as syntax errors. So name errors are basically when something is not defined. So in simple terms, it means that Python is saying, I know how to do this. No, I know what this is, but I don't know how to do it. Okay, so for example, say that you have the variable print or the function print and you want to print out the variable name and run it. Would you get a name error or a syntax error? Obviously, this is going to be a name error. Name is not defined. What we could have just done is added something like it's called a variable. So our variable was name. So name is equal to, you can change it according to yourself, but here I'm going, since my name is Amritesh, I'm just going to put Amritesh. Now, if I do print name, it should print out the string Amritesh. There you go. Another example would like this would be like print age, which is pretty obvious, as I said. Last. The last one is extremely confusing. But if you know how to solve this, you can master almost everything in basic Python. This is called the indentation error. And the indentation error is basically when you mess up between indents and tabs. So we'll show you that. So for example, you don't need to know what this code does for now, but I'm going to show you soon. So firstly, say that x is great. Okay, so firstly, let me make a variable called x. X is equal to the number 50. Okay, so far so good. Now, x, if this is a if statement, if x is bigger or greater than 50, then I didn't do anything. I just did enter and yeah. So that was automatically created. Print your you are big. Else print small. So this will so let's just see what each of this code will do. X is equal to 50. We are making a variable called 50. Next, we are making a if statement. If x is bigger than 50, print you are big, or else print small. Now let's run this. Small. Why is this small? Because if x is bigger than 50, so that would include even the smallest fraction above 50. But since x is 50 and it's not bigger than 50, it says it's small. We could make a elif statement here. Elif. Elif. No. X is to equal to equal to 50. Print equal equal because x is equal to 50. We are not using a single quote equal to symbol because one equal to sign is to assign something to a variable. Two is to compare, as we saw booleans. So see what happens if I put a single equal to sign. Syntax error. So two. Next. Next, what we will be doing is seeing a indentation error. So you can see this empty piece, yeah, over here. So imagine what if I delete this space. Now they're all on the same line. So now let me run and expected an indented block. So Those are basically indentation errors, which are extremely confusing at times, but if you can master them, they are a piece of cake. So, this is all that I had to show you in this episode. Until then, see you and goodbye.